my sister and sibling DBGs,
my brother and sibling Alice,
alumni, family, advisors, supporters, and welcome to the 2026 Celebration of Leadership.
Tonight, we come together to celebrate an incredible year in the Lake Ontario region, a year filled with unforgettable programs, meaningful Jewish experiences, new friendships, growing chapters, and hundreds of teens who choose to make BBYO a part of their story.
This evening is not just about recognizing achievements, it's about celebrating the people behind them, the leaders, the members, the advisors, the volunteers, and the supporters who helped make this year so special.
As you look around the room tonight, you'll find displays recognizing some of the outstanding accomplishments from across our region. Be sure to check out the recipients of our Community Building Awards, Officers of the Year, Outstanding Program Award, Outstanding Membership Award, and the Outstanding Stand-Up Campaign Award.
These displays tell the story of a region that is thriving, a region filled with creativity, leadership, community service, and teens who are making a real impact in their chapters and beyond.
You can also find senior life books over there, where you can leave messages for our graduating seniors and our Shuchunim, as well as the advisor appreciation jars, where you can share a note of thanks with the volunteers who dedicate so much of their time to making BBYO possible.
And throughout the evening, we'll continue the celebration with dessert, live music, and plenty of time to connect with friends that are old and new.
Towards the end of the night, we'll also be calling on award recipients for photos. So if you see your name on one of the displays, congratulations, and make sure you're listening for your cue.
Tonight is a chance to reflect on everything that we have accomplished together. Celebrate the people that made it happen and recognize the incredible strength of Jewish teen leadership in our region.
So thank you for being here. Thank you for supporting BBYO, and thank you for helping make Lake Ontario region such an amazing place to call home.
Now, let's begin our celebration. Hi. If I haven't had a chance to meet you guys yet, my name is Samara. I'm the Associate Regional Director of LOR. I have the pleasure of presenting this award tonight. BBYO has always meant so much to me ever since I was a teenager in the program. And it truly did teach me what it means to be a leader, have that same experience. Seeing teens now have that same experience fills my heart with such happiness. Brotherhood is one of the most meaningful and powerful ideals in AZA. It is the commitment to stand beside one another through successes, challenges, to celebrate each other's victories, and to ensure that every Aleph feels welcome, valued, and connected. Brotherhood is built through friendship, trust, respect, and a shared responsibility to chapter and the movement. The Lake Ontario Region Aleph Tzaddik Aleph Brotherhood Award is presented annually to the Aleph who has demonstrated a spirit of sociability, of cooperation, and a friendship towards all Aleph. Recipients of the Brotherhood Award embody these values every day. Their impact is measured not by titles or by the events they've planned, but by the relationship they've built and the people they've inspired. They are Alephs who make each other feel belong, who led with kindness, integrity, and who put the needs of their brothers before their own. Here's some of those things that were said about the nominee. He consistently for others and leads with authenticity, inclusivity, and genuine care for the people around him. Whether welcoming new members, building connections across chapters, supporting younger teens, or stepping up when something needs to get done, helps create an environment where everyone feels welcome. He is someone others trust, rely on, and want to be beside him in the room, embodying the true meaning of brotherhood through both his words and his actions. His impact extends far beyond individual programs, helping to strengthen the culture of our region and making BBYO a place where teams genuinely want to be. Those who have nominated him described him as someone who elevates the people around him, cares deeply about Jewish community, and lives the values of BBYO every day. Working alongside this Olive this year was one of the best things I would say I take away. So with that, I am honored to present this year's Lake Ontario Region A's a Day Brotherhood Award to Avery Potts of Co-op.
Did I give a speech about what I say?
Hi, my name is Ariella. I am the advisor of Dor Hadash BBG number 2404, and I am also the chapter excellence coordinator for Lake Ontario region. This one's old. This one is the wrong one. So I am here to present the BBG Sisterhood Award in honor of Debbie Silver. From Montreal, Debbie Silver is a lifetime member of the B'nai B'rith Girls. She even met her late husband Harvey at a convention in New York. Debbie was a member of BBYO's professional staff team for 23 years until her retirement in 2011, and she continues to volunteer on committees and at BBYO events. So as an alumna and current advisor of BBYO, I see sisterhood on a regular basis, and I truly understand the importance of lifelong relationships that happen through sisterhood. The Lake Ontario Region B'nai B'rith Girls Sisterhood Award in honor of Debbie Silver is presented to a B'nai B'rith girl who has demonstrated a spirit of sociability, of cooperation, and of friendship toward all BBGs. So here is what the nominated, with this year's recipient, here's what those that nominated this year's recipient had to say. She consistently demonstrates what true sisterhood means, making every person feel welcomed, included, valued, and cared for. Through her kindness, compassion, and genuine care for others, she has built meaningful friendships, supported those around her, and helped an environment where people feel comfortable being themselves. Whether welcoming a new member, encouraging others to get involved, or leading through her many roles in BBYO, she embodies the values of the Menorah Pledge principles and inspires others through her positivity, warmth, and dedication to the BBG sisterhood. Those who nominated her said that she doesn't just talk about sisterhood, she lives it every single day. So with that, I am thrilled to present this year's Lake Ontario Region BBG Sisterhood Award in honor of Debbie Silver to Vicky Bulakia of Sephora BBG number 2248. Please come up and receive your award.
Hello. Oh, is there a big picture of me behind me? Oh my God. That's an old one. Good evening, everyone. My name is Evan, and I've had the pleasure of being chapter advisor with LOR for, let's just say, a little while now. We tend to think leadership starts when someone gets elected or gets a title or gets handed a microphone. In reality, it starts much earlier. It starts when someone notices a person standing alone and invites them into a conversation. It starts when they volunteer to help without being asked. It starts when they choose responsibility over mission. One thing when working with teams at both BBYO and Kent is that leadership isn't measured by how many people follow you on Instagram. It's measured by how many people feel supported because you're there. The best emerging leaders aren't the ones trying to prove they're leaders. They're the ones making everyone around them better. The teen receiving this award represents that kind of leadership, the kind that's authentic, inclusive, and makes a community stronger simply because he's part of it. The Lake Ontario Region Award for Emerging BBYO Leadership is presented to the Olive or BBG, who has demonstrated outstanding leadership, commitment, and dedication as a new member of BBYO. Having been a chapter advisor for almost a decade, I've had the pleasure of working with so many teams that have won or were equally deserving of this award, past and present, and we're very lucky to have so many teams stepping up in our region at so many levels. I've presented this award many times, and having watched them emerge in their leadership roles throughout their BBYO time is truly rewarding and inspiring. Here's what the nominated person for this year's award here's some things that were shared. He is dependable, welcoming, positive, and deeply invested in the success of those around him, consistently helping others feel included and excited to be part of BBYO. His peers look up to him, trust him, and enjoy being around him, and his impact on the chapter has been overwhelmingly positive. He has tremendous potential to help shape the future of our region, and that he is a perfect example of emerging leadership. So with that, I am honored to present this year's Lake Ontario Region Award for Emerging BBYO Leadership to the incoming Gadol of Koach today, number 2291, Ricky Klug. We'll do it a little bit. Yeah, man. There you go.
Hello, everyone. Even if I don't get a lot of time at the mic, I'm tremendously honored in the years that I get to present this very special award. The Lake Ontario Region Award for Outstanding BBYO Leadership in memory of Marcy Berzon is presented to a graduating Oliver BBG who has demonstrated outstanding leadership, commitment, and dedication throughout their years in BBYO. Marcy Berzon was an active BBG in the 1980s who served her chapter and region in numerous leadership roles, including Nicaea. Known for her warmth, friendship, and dedication to BBYO, she continued her involvement as an advisor after graduating. Flip slides now. Marcy passed away in 1992 at the age of 24, but her legacy of leadership and service continues to inspire generations of Olives and BBGs. The Berzon family and Marcy's friends across Canada and the US are proud to see her memory honored through this award and congratulate all who have received it over the years. You'll see those up on the screen. Tonight, we honor a leader whose BBYO journey began with a simple decision to attend a program. What followed was a journey defined by growth, resilience, and an unwavering commitment to making BBYO better for everyone around them. Rather than opportunities, this individual sought them out, building community, strengthening chapter life, mentoring younger members, and consistently stepping forward to lead. Over the years, They became known for their passion, determination, and belief that every member deserves to feel welcomed, valued, and heard. Their impact can be seen not only in the programs they helped create and the initiatives they led, but in the countless people whose BBYO experience is better because they were a part of it. With that, it is my absolute honor to present this year's Lake Ontario Region Award for Outstanding BBYO Leadership in memory of Marcy Burzon to Elliot Kritzer of Sitka BBYO for 5003. We'll look this way.
Good evening. Can everyone out there hear me? Excellent. Do I need a stool? Yes. Okay. And a big shout out and greetings to our friends and our fellow AZA and BBG, AZA and BBG in Ottawa. My name is Joel Marins, and I am proud to serve on your adult board of directors. Kevin's getting there. Our job as your adult board is to work behind the scenes, ensuring staff is supported and that the program continues to thrive. And so on behalf of the adult board, I'm honored to present our very first Mark Silverstein Alumni of the Year Award, named in honor of someone whose own adult board leadership led to us being here this evening. And I'm not exaggerating when I tell you that none of us would be in this room were it not for Mark Silverstein. Mark was instrumental in ensuring BBYO's continuity during some of its most challenging days in the late 80s and early 90s. I know this to be true because I lived through Mark's leadership and impact as a member just like you during his tenure. I remember Mark, or as we affectionately refer to him, the Grand Poobah, fondly. We are joined here this evening by Mark's family. Please, everyone, give them some love. I think that's And so in honor of Mark, our Alumni of the Year Award recognizes an exceptional alumnus of BBYO Eastern Canada, LOR, who has demonstrated outstanding leadership, commitment, and impact in the Jewish community and the broader community. This annual award, which is new, this is the we're giving this out, honors the guy who embodies BBYO's core values of leadership, pluralism, inclusion, and ethics, while inspiring others through service, mentorship, and innovation. This person demonstrates a continued commitment to the Jewish community into their adult lives. And I can't think of a better recipient than our winner this evening, Stephen Schulman. Stephen is president and CEO of Jewish Federations of Canada, United Israel Appeal, where he leads efforts to deepen Canadian Federation engagement with Israel and the Jewish world, and to unite federations across the country around shared domestic priorities. Under his leadership, UIA hundreds of charitable projects in Israel with especially strong support since October 7th. Before joining JFC-UIA, Stephen served as Senior Vice President, Corporate Affairs, Community Relations, and Counsel at UJA Federation of Greater Toronto. There, he helped lead UJA's 2021 strategic planning process, launched UJA Community Security, and served as a trusted voice during times of crisis in Toronto and throughout the Jewish world. Earlier in his career, Stephen held several senior advocacy roles with the Canadian Jewish Congress, where he advanced the interests of Canadian Jewish federations and the national community in the fight against anti-Semitism and racism, and in strengthening ties with the broader community. Stephen practiced law privately for 11 years and earned a BA in political science from York U and a law degree from Osgoode Hall Law School. He's a member of the Law Society of Ontario and admitted to the New York Bar. And lastly, but I think most excitingly, in 2023, the Jerusalem Post named Stephen as one of the world's 50 most influential Jews. Stephen is also a proud BBYO alumnus, or he would not be here this evening. Having been an active member of Rayom AZA 1016 from 1979 to 1983, and serving as Lake Ontario Region's Regional Aleph Gadol 13 years before me, 14 years, and awarded first place in the AZA Max FR International Oratory Contest at the 1982 BBY International Convention. Yes, we had IC back in the 80s. Stephen is grateful to his parents, Jerry Schulman of blessed memory, and Linda Schulman, who I believe is here. Yep, who was right? For their everlasting love and for instilling Jewish values. Above all, he is most proud of his family, his wife Barbara, daughters Kylie and Talia, and son-in-law Josh. Ladies and gentlemen, fellow AZA and BBGs, please join me in congratulating Steve Schulman. Steve, come on up.
I was 14 years old. I thought I was cool. I'm cooler now, but I thought I was cool. I was sitting in my apartment alone, watching something you don't have right now. We didn't have social media back then. We did have vehicles, though. We had automobiles. And I was watching something called community television. And on the community cable television, there was a fellow there. His name was Dov Altman, Zichron Libracha. And Dov was the district president for something called District 122. He was the district president, and I was interested in politics, the president of all of Eastern Canada and the Northeast of the United States. And I was listening, and I heard three words. Number one, BBYO. Number two, I heard floor hockey. Actually, 4 words. And number three, I heard meet girls. Well, that was it. I was sold. And probably within 3 days, I went into what was the BBYO house, which is at Bathurst and Shepherd, before all the demonstrations at Bathurst and Shepherd. And I joined with a friend. That was it. And I joined Chapter Rayom, which I understand is now a team. Anybody here from? Well, you have the right charter number. Not sure about the name, but you have the right charter number. So you continue the tradition. Little did I know that my life would change for the better and affect really the course of my life from that day on because of what I learned at BBYO and the relationships that I made. And what did I learn? Well, first of all, I learned leadership. I didn't know anything about leadership. How many of you think you've learned about leadership in BBYO? Just a show of hands. Quite a lot of you. I'm glad to see the people who won the leadership awards have their hands up. That's a good thing. So I would walk in. I remember walking in, and I walked into a chapter meeting. I see people up front, and a person calling themselves the Chapter Gadol, and another person, the Chapter Gadol's here, and another person calling himself the Chapter Moran, and another person the Maskir and Sagan, and any Maskirs, Sagans, chapter executives, come on. Okay. And then I would go to regional convention, and I would see these guys and girls up on a stage, and they were the regional presidents, and I had no idea. I thought, will I ever, this quiet guy who came for floor hockey, I said, I'd like to sit up there. How is it that they got up there? And I learned, I listened, I got involved in programs, and suddenly I felt comfortable. And I said, I can be them too. I can get to those positions as well, not just for the positions, but do all the work to get to the positions. And let me say about leadership, you will walk into lots of rooms when you're finished at BBYO, and you're going to say to yourself, do I belong in this room? There's people older, there's people who know much more than me, but you're going to see, just like you walked into BBYO the first time, that you're leaders and you're going to become leaders in whatever fields you're in because of what you learned in BBYO, that you listen, you do, you take action, and then you will ascend as important leaders and people will respect you. And that's something that I absolutely learned. And through my career, some of the names that you see, in fact, virtually all of them on this building as you walk out, are people that I've had the privilege to work with. And in fact, asked for donations from because they trusted what I had to say. And in fact, those are people through UJ who supported BBYO over the years. I've learned that success doesn't come from just your work alone. It comes from the support. And how did I learn that? In a chapter, if you were the president, you couldn't do it alone. You had to work with everybody in the chapter. And that's what I learned at BBYO, that nobody does it on their own. And I'll tell you one story. How many of you are familiar with the name Barry Sherman? His name is up on the arena. Just clap if you've heard the name Barry Sherman. So Barry Sherman was one of the great leaders in our community. And leaders as far as business and leaders in terms of supporting the Jewish community. And one time I met with Barry in my role with UJA. And it was something about politically, and he was saying why he supported certain political position. And if anybody could be called a self-made person, it was Barry. He was literally a rocket scientist. You don't meet many rocket scientists. He was a rocket scientist from MIT. And yet he said to me, he said, Steve, I support the social safety net because I didn't do it on my own and nobody does it on their own. Everybody needs help of others. And that's why he supported so much at UJ and so many other Jewish and general society charities. And that's a lesson that I learned at BBYO. Nobody does it on their own. In BBYO, I learned about innovation. You know, we tried programs. They worked sometimes, they didn't work other times. But I remember just little things about innovation. So we had a program at Baycrest with seniors, and we were supposed to do a show for the seniors. And we saw that they were getting bored. So what did we do? We took Mr. Smith, who was 92, and others like him. They did a show with us, and they loved it, and it lit up their hearts. And I learned that the most, BBYO, the most satisfaction is when you help others. When you see the happiness in others, that lights a fire much more than anything you could do on your own. And ultimately learn that we're all responsible for one another. And if we think of things like Amazon, what's Amazon? It sounds pretty simple. He created a catalog, Jeff Bezos, online for virtually everything, starting with books. So just remember, you don't need to be a rocket scientist or a nuclear scientist to be innovative. Even those little programs that you're doing at BBYO and changing ideas is about innovation. Another thing I learned at BBYO is perseverance. I ran for positions. I tried programs. I lost. I ran for chapter president. I lost. Then I won the next year. I ran for regional Alpha-Dole. I lost. Then I won the next year. I ran for international president. I lost, and that was it. I aged out. But I didn't regret it because the main thing is you try. You put yourself out there. I lost the international oratory contest, then I won. You keep going at it, and as long as you look yourself in the mirror and say, I did everything I could, there are absolutely no regrets. And that's the case in terms of what I've done in my career, whether it's political advocacy for Canadian Jewish Congress or whether it's raising money for a particular project. Some of them work, some of them are delayed, but you keep moving forward. And then the final thing, I would say I learned many things, but the final thing I learned is that we are one Jewish people. And I can't think of a more important message and more important thing to learn. You know, if I look at this award, the Mark Silverstein Award, tribute to Mark's family, Mark, I think, without knowing him, understood that it was critical for this organization to continue so that generations could benefit. And he was critical in saving this organization. In fact, making a partnership with UJA so it could continue. And I met people in BBYO from outside the city, from exotic locales like Ottawa. I understand Ottawa's on, and Kingston and Buffalo, and friends for Vicky Weiss, who is co-president I won't say the year, I think it was already said, but a while ago. We do look young though, don't we? And had the greatness. But what I learned was fraternity, filial love wasn't just the AZA handshake. Anybody know the AZA handshake? You still do it? Okay, good. But it's not just the AZA handshake. It's that all Jews are responsible for one another. And we are in the toughest time right now that we face in probably 80 years in this country and around the world. And you're the leaders. You're the leaders now, you're the next leaders. You're going to go on university campuses. You're going to make an impact because you understand Jewish community and Jewish peoplehood and our connection with Israel, and you will never, never shy away from that critical connection, which strengthens us every bit as much as it strengthens the people of Israel. And that's something that BBYO absolutely taught me, which I've carried into all these projects, especially and most dramatically since October 7th. And finally, make sure you have fun. I joined BBYO as a to have fun to start, even in the tough times. Have a sense of humor, laugh, get through it. If you're managing people, if they're having fun, they're going to do much better. On a hockey team or a sports team, they're going to do much better in a study group. And that's something that I absolutely learned. And in fact, I just want to pay tribute to one person who tragically passed away. His funeral was today, Bernie Feldberg, Zichro Libracha. He was a member of Sahale ZA. And all I can remember of that time was Bernie always having a smile. And that smile made everybody around him happy. And I'm sure if he was here today and I talked about BBYO, immediately his face would light up with a smile. So speaking on, I did enjoy the parties. We had Bohart. I don't know if you still have Bohart now. And I can't lie, I enjoyed playing floor hockey and meeting girls. But oh, there was so much more. So thanks to all of you for giving me this honor. It truly is an honor. Continue on. You're all members. Thank you.
The AZA Chapter of the Year is one of the most prestigious honors that an AZA chapter can receive. This award considers every aspect of a chapter, including leadership, programming, membership growth, finances, chapter culture, behavior, and overall excellence. Over the years, many remarkable AZA chapters have earned this distinction by setting the standard for what an outstanding chapter can be. The 2025-2026 AZA Chapter of the Year goes to a group of Aleph who have gone above and beyond to strengthen their chapter and truly embody what it means to be an exemplary chapter in the grand order of the Aleph Tzadik Aleph. I have had the privilege of watching this chapter grow into such amazing leaders today, from outstanding programs and strong chapter board to an exceptional chapter engagement and brotherhood. This chapter excels in every area. Throughout the year, they continued to build on their momentum and proudly carried forward the spirit of #revival. With that said, the 2025-2026 AZA Chapter of the Year, the Koach AZA number 10. Congratulations, Koach. All members of Koach stay following tonight's program to receive your trophy and take a chapter program photo.
The BBG Chapter of the Year Award is one that every chapter strives toward throughout the entire year. It recognizes a chapter that has demonstrated excellence across all areas of chapter life, from programming and membership growth to leadership development, chapter culture, and community building. This year, the growth and strength of our BBG chapters have been incredible, and it has been an honor to watch so many communities thrive. The recipient of the 2025-2026 BBG Chapter of the Year Award has made a significant impact both regionally and especially within their own chapter community. They embody the values that Anita and Perlman envisioned for BBG more than 80 years ago and exemplify what it means to be an outstanding chapter. This is a group of BBGs whose energy, spirit, and determination have completely transformed their chapter. Through hard work, strong leadership, and unwavering commitment growth, they have rebuilt their chapter into one of the most vibrant communities in our region. This year, they have welcomed the most amount of new members in any BBG chapter in our region and have cultivated an impressive group of emerging leaders who are ready to carry on the momentum in the forward years to come. The 2025-2026 BBG Chapter of the Year goes to Cohabit. Congratulations, all members of Cohabit. Please stay after for a photo and to receive your trophy.
As our region continues to grow, 15 chapters, so did the opportunities for Jewish teens to find their place in BBYO. Lake Ontario region is proud to offer a variety of chapter experiences through ACEDA, BBG, and BBYO chapters, ensuring that every teen can connect in a way that is meaningful to them. That is why we are proud to continue the tradition of the BBYO Chapter of the Year Award, recognizing the incredible contributions of our BBYO chapters and celebrating the impact that they have on our region.
The 2025-2026 BBYO Chapter of the Year goes to a chapter that has gone above and beyond to strengthen its community and exemplify what it means to be an outstanding chapter in the international order. This chapter has made a meaningful impact both within its own community and across our region. Through exceptional membership growth, dedicated leadership, and a strong commitment to creating Jewish experiences in a welcoming and inclusive environment, they have distinguished themselves as a model chapter. While they may be one of our newer chapters, they have quickly become one of our strongest. Their energy, passion, and commitment to building community have not gone unnoticed, and their future is incredibly bright. The 2025-2026 BBYO Chapter of the Year goes to
BBYO Beverly.
Congratulations, all members of BBYO Every. Please stay following tonight's program to receive your trophy and take your chapter photo.
Tonight, we've spent the evening celebrating leadership. We recognize teens who stepped forward, took chances, built communities, welcomed new members, created meaningful experiences, and helped make BBYO what it is today.
But what we celebrated tonight is about so much more than awards. Every tradition we love, every chapter that thrives, every friendship that begun in BBYO, and every memory we reflected on this evening exists because someone was worth, cared enough to build it. They gave us their time, they shared their talents, they invested in something bigger than themselves.
Looking around this room, we're reminded that BBYO is more than a youth movement. It's a place where lifelong friendships begin. It's a place where teens discover who they are. It's a place where leaders are developed, where memories are made, and where generations of Jewish teens find a community that feels like home.
Tonight, we heard stories from alumni, celebrated their accomplishments of our peers, and recognized the impact that so many people have had on this region. And now, as the 47th regional president, we're honored to have this opportunity to help lead the next chapter of that story.
We know that the future of Lake Ontario region won't be built by 2 presidents. It won't even be built by 1 regional board. It will be built by every chapter leader planning their next program, every teen inviting a friend to their first event, every advisor who gives their time, every parent who supports our community, and every member who chooses to love and make a difference.
That's what makes BBYO so special. Every year, new leaders step forward, new friendships are formed, new traditions begun. And while tonight marks the end of an incredible year, it's also the beginning of another. A year filled with new opportunities, new challenges, new memories, and new moments that we celebrate together before we leave.
To our graduating seniors, thank you for the legacy you've left behind. To tonight's award recipients, thank you for the example you've set for others. To our families, alumni, advisors, staff, and supporters, thank you for believing in Jewish teen leadership and for helping make all of this possible.
And to every teen in this room, thank you for being a part of this, for making BBYO what it is. Excited for what's ahead, and we can't wait to experience it together.
While the formal portion of tonight's celebration of leadership is coming to a close, the celebration itself is not over. Please stay with us until 9 p.m. to enjoy the food, music, photo booth, and time together with friends, family, and fellow BBYO members.
We'll also be inviting our award recipients back to take official photos throughout the evening. If you received an award tonight, please keep an ear out. We'll be calling you up shortly.
Congratulations again to all of tonight's honorees.
Thank you for celebrating with us. Good night, Lake Ontario region. Enjoy the rest of the evening.